And welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have a really beautiful and simple hot and sour slaw. We used a combination of apple cider vinegar and mustard seed in this to give it a really interesting and unique flavor, along with some frozen leeks. And let's get going with some ingredients to start with. So we're starting with some cabbage. We have a carrot. We have these beautiful leeks. We bought them fresh and then froze them. Some mustard seed. We're going to be using some olive oil and some apple cider vinegar. It's a very simple recipe. So let's get started. So first of all, we're going to peel our carrot. You want to make sure the carrot is good and clean and well peeled. We don't want bits of dirt and skin in here. And we're just going to grate the carrot. It is the easy way to do this, honestly. You can mandoline this or even chop it into really fine julienne if you want to go through all the effort, but a grater is just fine for this. Now, we like to buy fresh leeks and then freeze them. It really tenderizes them, and you want to get rid of the outside couple of layers. They tend to get a little bit dried out. And then these are still frozen. We're not thawing them before we cut them. And they're really easy to chop. So just give them a nice thin slice here. And then these are going to all thaw out inside the slaw once we've added our other ingredients as well. Now, as for the cabbage, we can always do, as we've done in the past, a mandoline with this. If you don't have a mandoline, what we're doing here is we're just going to show you, you want to get rid of that really thick root, and then the part nearest the root, you want to slice really thin like this, just to make sure you don't have any huge chunks. This is the part that's most likely to have large pieces. So in order to keep it sort of tender, and you want the those nice sized pieces of cabbage in your slaw, you can do this at this angle here. You see Chef Caleb doing, and you just want to make sure there's no big huge pieces that'll be tough. So that's about the biggest piece you want there. You don't want any really, really big pieces. Then once you've gotten through the really tough root part there, from here we can just cut it into a couple of pieces, and we can take it at a nicer angle and just do a regular slice on these, and you get these nice sort of julienne pieces just from the regular cut. Now the recipe we're doing here, this is going to use a quarter of a cabbage. We have these nice big heads of cabbage. We used a full quarter for this recipe. So you will have cabbage left over if you use this recipe. And there you go. You want to make sure you've got it all cut up into nice, reasonable slaw-sized pieces. Basically a julienne. And then we're going to add our mustard seed. So we're just going to mix that in, along with a generous salt, a generous helping of salt in there. That brings out the nice juices of everything, and we'll also add a nice flavor. And then we're going to add a little bit of our apple cider vinegar, and we're just going to get everything sort of mixed together. We're just going to get the whole thing combined to start with, to make sure that the salt is on everything, that everything's nicely coated with the apple cider vinegar, and the mustard seed is well distributed through everything in there. And then we're going to add our oil. Of course, all of the amounts are going to be in the ingredients below, in the description below as usual. And we're going to add our oil and just give it a nice stir. And then once that's all well combined, we are going to put this into a container. We can use a Ziploc or anything like that, and that's just going to go into the fridge for a while. This is actually great if it sits overnight. All the flavors come together really nicely. This is a very simple slaw, and that's really it. After that, we're going to serve that You can see these nice little mustard seeds. You get that beautiful sourness from the apple cider vinegar, and these nice little bits of mustardy heat from the mustard seeds. You do want to give it a little dusting of fresh cracked black pepper. It really sort of brings everything out. And this goes really well with some of the richer dishes we've been serving. The macaroni and cheese, the meatloaf we did recently. We actually served this with the gumbo and red beans and rice that we're going to be doing in upcoming weeks. And you'll see those recipes coming up soon. But that's it. That's the whole recipe. Really, really simple, delicious, light, sour, a little bit hot from that mustard seed. Really, really amazing slaw. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.